This is Roger with Wheel Kinetics in Tucson, Arizona. We're selling this truck as a 2004 Chevy Silverado 3500. Obviously that's a 1-ton. It's also obviously a crew cab, and it's a dual rear wheel. It's a 6.6 liter turbo diesel. It's 2-wheel drive. I'm going to walk you around it. It was a dealer trade-in from Larry Miller Dodge. Anything over 100,000 miles, no matter what condition it's in, good, bad, or terrible, or whatever, they have to sell to other dealers at auction, because they can't get financing on their used car dealerships for anything over 100,000 miles. So we buy a lot of these. We obviously can find people with cash, and a lot better on the line than they can. So that's how we end up with all these trucks. Anyway, this thing needed very little. I've got my little cheat sheet here. It needed front brake pads, oil, an oil change, oil plug, oil filter, and a oil pan gasket. It got a steering wheel bearing done, and it had both power steering lines were leaking to the gearbox, so those were both replaced. We repaired the passenger front seat, and we replaced the blower resistor for the air conditioning, and we also did a headliner. We did a headliner repair. It's kind of fallen down. And I'm going to walk you around it. I'm going to show you what's happening here. I'd say the driver front tire is probably 40 or 50% tread. I think the biggest issue with this thing cosmetically is one of the rear wheel covers has a crack in it, which is about as common as a cold. Almost everyone gets one. I don't see too many of these dualies that are over 50,000 miles that don't have something wrong with one of those rear wheel covers. Passenger front tire looks like it's at least 50% tread. There's a little ding right here. Common rock chips on the front half of the wheel cover on the passenger side. The rear tires look like they're much newer. In fact, they look really good. Probably 70 or 80% tread. Someone took or stole or did something with the little cap that goes on top of the tailgate there. You have a tow package. You do have a spare, although it's not a new spare, it is a spare. Alright. You do have a hitch in the bed, and that does roll down into the bed if you need it to go flat. And this is where we got damage. You got some damage here. Obviously, this part of the bumper was pushed in there. And there's some more right here. It's kind of hard to see at this angle. So let me go underneath there. See that? That's there. Now, I don't think anyone's buying this thing for cosmetics. If you are, you're crazy. But it's my job to point this stuff out, so I am. Anyway, the rear tires look great. I don't think you need any tires at all for at least maybe the front tires and maybe 5 or 10,000 miles. And the rears probably look like they have at least 10,000 miles on them. Alright, I'm going to start this truck up, let you look underneath the hood, listen to it run under the hood. 191,530 miles. One thing about Duramax, they sure are quiet. Compared to a Dodge or a 6.0, almost sound like a gas truck compared to those. Rear seat, carpet, door panels look brand new. Not very uncommon really on diesel crew cabs. Generally it's one person towing and nobody else allowed in the truck with him. Not sure why that happens, but might be the personality disorder of the person who tows, or the people just don't want to be around the person who tows. They get cranky. Anyway, this is the seat we did repair on the outside. It was really torn, so this is a new piece right here. We do have a manual. The nice thing about trucks with crank windows, very little going on, is that there sure is less to break. Looks like we did a little repair right here, but we didn't send this seat out. The passenger seat we did send out. It does have cruise, which is an upgrade for a car with crank, or for any vehicle with crank windows, I should say. I can tell you the air's blowing cold. Get my seatbelt on here. There we go. All right. All right, let's see. There's your air. Looks on all the settings. I'm going to keep it on 2 because it's warm. Let's see if we got a radio here. Ooh, turn it on. There's your radio. All right, let's go for a ride. Well, actually, let me check. There's your tow on and off right there. Okay, let's go for a ride. It's on a clear title, so if you come to Tucson to drive it home, all you're going to need to do is pay taxes and dock fees. Dock fees are $250. Taxes are 2% city sales tax here in Tucson, plus whatever your state tax rate is. If your state tax rate is 3% and you want to come to Tucson to drive it home, you're going to pay a total of 5% taxes. That's your 3% plus our 2%, and a $250 dock fee. We have a lot of people from Alaska fly down here and drive home. Their tax rate is 0, so they end up paying a total of 2% tax and a $250 dock fee, and that's that. What else? If you ship, if you pay by wire and ship, we mail you the title once we receive full payment. It's notarized, it's in your name, and you arrange shipping. We have a shipper, his name is Fred at Beacon Shipping Logistics. His number is right in the middle of our ad if you want to give him a try. His prices are right in the middle. I highly recommend having him involved. Some of these flaky truckers will tell you they're coming to get it tomorrow and they're not. He deals with them, okay? And it's a nice little buffer to have so you keep your sanity. His prices are right in the middle, though. We found that if you go, well, we know for a fact, if you go with the cheapest price, you'll probably never see your truck. You know, we had someone quoted, and they pay the deposit on the shipping to Michigan the other day, $900 for a crew cab dually. Impossible. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, it was still sitting here, and they were out there $150 deposit, and then they were calling Fred. I'm telling you right now, the highest is not good, but the lowest is the worst. You'll definitely never see your truck for the lowest. So anyway, if you're not going to use Fred, at least use Fred to give you an idea of whether you're paying too much or not. What else? Deposit. Get your deposit. It's a $500 deposit. Once we get your deposit, we'll put your name in a banner over the truck at wheelkinetics.com, and you'll know it's yours. Until then, it is for sale. I'm going to pull up here real quick and do a little high-speed pass where you can see it shift. This is a 25-mile-an-hour zone right here, and cops are everywhere. But for 5 years, I haven't gotten whacked, so it's only a matter of time. But let's do it again. Brakes were good. I don't think he knows where he's going. Let's see. Lastly, this is the point in my videos where I give you the speech about this not being a new vehicle. I do this on all my vehicles. basically what I'm going to tell you is this is not new. There's bound to be a problem with it sooner or later. There's a reason that the engineers at Chevy give it a certain year and a certain number of miles for warranty. It's because they don't know what's going to happen after that point either. If they did, and they would warranty it for longer and they get more money for the truck when they sold it new. Basically, they don't know what's going to happen, and if they don't know, we don't know either. So please, 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 if you are needing a risk-free deal, you need to buy a new truck, not a used one from anybody. New is the only way to go. This truck has 194,000 miles on it. We've gone over it. We've fixed what needs to be fixed, but it doesn't mean when it shows up at your place, it won't get a check engine light 3 days later. We just don't know what's going to happen. To get the warm, fuzzy feeling, you need to buy brand new, okay? And then they'll give you the, you know, the bottled water and the pat on the back and maybe even the loaner truck. But you're going to save a ton of money buying this one, and when you do that, keep in mind that you may have to spend some of that saved money on a repair sooner or later. Every car dies eventually, so just keep that in mind, okay? We don't want people buying things that they're not prepared to deal with. The internet's a big place. Somebody out there will love this truck and know how to deal with it when it does break, like they all do. And so please be that person, okay? Thank you very much.